at Indianapolis. It is warm. The track temperature will go up. It's 84 degrees right now, 126 on this 2.5-mile oval, and the breeze continues to pick up. Mike Tirico,
School in racing, and today promises so much. Fernando Alonso can win the Triple Crown, and a 51-year-old curse could finally be banished for the Andretti family. Marco Andretti will lead the field from pole in just a few moments' time. In the UK commentary box, I'm Alex Jakes, and joining us, a man who knows this race very well.
10 days. That means you're going to get, probably going to help the cars into turn 4. They're going to have a better front end. Been taken off up the racetrack, and with track temperatures of 125 to 135 Fahrenheit, we're going to see more. It's going to be really difficult on these tyres, Alex, and fuel saving as well. What are we going to see in terms of Honda versus Chevrolet on these opening laps?
We've got Mario Andretti driving his son Michael ahead of his grandson.
are usually crowded by great race fans. Things change, but this is still the same. This is 500 over the next couple of hours, and you're in no better hands to document it all than the voice of our IndyCar series on NBC. Here's Lee Diffie. Diff.
Mike, thanks so much. What a lead-in, what a build-up to this 104th running, and what a treat we have for you folks. Look to the bottom of your screens there. You see the Honda two-seater. It's affectionately known as the head of the pace car to the green. Well, this is an historic treat. If you haven't heard about it, inside that Honda two-seater, 91 IndyCar championship winning son, Michael. 3 Andrettis on the track at the one time. That's not unusual here as far as the Andretti history is concerned, but for Mario, Mike, across the 3 generations. Fantastic. I mentioned Mark Royce, the president of General Motors. Mark is behind the wheel. There he is right there, of the brand new Corvette Stingray, to lead this field to green. And for more information on this beautiful car, you can go to Chevy.com. You've got the president right behind the wheel. An exciting time for him as well, especially to be wedged in between the generations of Andretti family members and drivers. Time now to take a look at the Firestone starting grid for this year's. Get back to PT in just a moment. Felix Rosenqvist perhaps score that historic 4th victory. We're pleased to say that we've got 14 on board. That orange and blue car going around the outside. Dixon for the lead and gets it.
Back to the UK combo.
To 21st. Fernando Alonso hasn't changed. He's 26th at the moment. But yeah, first caution of the day. No.
UK Combox, and it was very busy indeed down there on pit road, Tom Gaymore. A lot of drivers at the back who did not have the best qualifying have decided to take that early pit.
Some of the teams electing to use this to go off strategy, you know, on a green flag lap, there's always going to be will they, won't they, if there's an early caution. Who will pit towards the back? 3 of the 4 Penske's electing to do it. I would have thought they'd split that up a bit more. Of course, Joseph Newgarden, the car that's further up in 14th, electing not to. So the drivers there at Penske probably flexing their muscles and saying, listen, you know, we're not going to race to the
lane there, Rupp. Thanks so much for that. Race Force here as a guest. Really wanted to pull his first caution of the race. He was catching Dixon. 2008 Indy 500 winner leads the field back to green. But let's see what Hunter Ray's got early on here. Marco Andretti is trying to get something on Takuma Sato, and James Hinchcliffe in the orange Genesis car is named for Marcus Ericsson, who came into this race in this round of the NTT IndyCar Series in the top 10 in points. He crashed on pit lane last year on entry, and he had said he had learned so much in the past year, just being full-time. Of course, he had 5 years in Formula One before coming to IndyCar, and he was ready, he was primed, and he'd shown that over the course of the past week and its man's teammate.
I believe all these guys are going to pit, and all those early pitters, Townsend, are now going to cycle to the front for their turn at the front.
You bet. Simon Pagenaud, Alonso, Castro. So we will see. It's going to mix things up a little bit.
Busy, Townsend. We've had a lot of mistakes on pit road, and this pit road is tight as anything in the business.
More traditional pit stop window for the first stint. You can see the leader of the race now, the first driver to come in, and it's Oliver Askew who leads from Simon Pagenaud, last year's winner.
Of dedication, Mike.
Thank you, Rutt. We'll head back. It counts, and your streak rolls on.
That was of leadership, but I'm doing it today because to this venue, to this series, to all of us, and we miss you dearly.
By before they even hit the start-finish line.
Look at the field behind him, 6 wide. Further back, you've got 7 Chevrolet. Except Scott Dixon comfortably out there with that 10-second lead of Rosado, and honestly saving fuel at that point. Dixon did not need this caution, but everybody else certainly did. Takuma Sato and Alexander 1, 2, 3. Pits will open in theory next time by, but Dixon did not want.
Retirees, just the 3 retirees from this year's race.
Should be interesting with the tow truck. Some going low. Dixon going racy along with Alexander Rossi on some of those restarts.
Let's go to Rutledge Wood.
Lee, we've got it.
After 75 years in the hands of the Holman George family, it is now Roger Penske and his mission owning the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and also the NTT IndyCar Series. So
Connor Daly spins it.
Big
hard hit for, I think,
Oliver Askew.
Oliver Askew lost it in the smoke, and that was a massive hit.
That which he darted across.
So here we go. Connor just loses it on the power. He's down way low. Lots
here as well. This one much bigger, and that safer barrier. If you watch the super slow-mo there, the flex in the wall has definitely saved him from further injury there. Obviously, he's got out of the car unaided, but he'd be a bit battered and bruised, no doubt. That was a huge, huge accident. Don't underestimate.
And hit his crew. That led to a penalty, putting him even further back. Then Dixon pulling clear of Rossi. Rossi making the mistake going for pit entry. Had to stay out, cost him at that stage a lap. And then on lap 77, Pagano, Castroneves, and Paz now back on the same strategy. And those who tried the alternate strategy
led from the right rear to the right front.
This gets super racy in the back, and it's going to be this pit stop. It's going to be a packed pit stop.
Hit that barrier. It looks like a wall, but it's actually called the safer barrier that flexes towards the wall. So just for those of you that were wondering what that safer barrier terminology.
A Honda, he is the teammate to Scott Dixon. However, Rosenquist pitted a long time ago, so he decided to lead it here, Scott Dixon.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to work together.
Whichever car it is, and boy, there has been a penalty assessed to the 27 Napa.
Pit mistakes today, so he's going to go big, go angry, but it's going to be interesting to see if guys let him go or they fight him back there, because you know, Townsend, the guys in the back fight you harder than the guys in the front.
Oh, you bet. And there's so much turbulent air back there, and Ross
Set the car up, and the game changes every year, but this was a big change this year with this safety innovation, but it hasn't affected Scott Dixon.
Not one bit.
You know, one of the things Fernando Alonso told me about the aero screen and what it prevents him from doing that he liked.
See who comes to pit lane here.
Beautiful new Corvette Stingray.
The out of the race. A disappointment for him, a driver that has always led a lap of every 500 that he's competed in, but not his day today for the winner of the 100th running. I want to say a word for Jack Harvey.
Right now, Townsend, with the chief stewards. I know the feeling. I've been very frustrated, but bad day.
Bad day for sure. Bad season for Rossi as the cleanup continues.
Yeah, Townsend, the runner-up here last year, and so close, as we mentioned, 4 times prior.
It's just continuing to look better. I'm still stuck on Rossi's situation. I feel bad for him as a clean, no mistakes by either you or your pit crew. We're down to crunch time, and oh, what do you know? The Iceman on the top.
Yep. Scott Dixon, he'll be in.
You're back with Alex Jakes and Tom Gaymore at the 104th Indianapolis 500-mile race. Tom, Alex Rossi doing well to keep it clean there. Who hasn't taken the checkered flag at this event?
Yeah, I don't think you'll be on his Christmas card list if you remember that. I mean, Joseph Newgarden really is the real deal. He's almost the next. Okay, we haven't talked about him. And then Jack Harvey as well in 10th place. So this is going to bubble up now as we head towards the checkered flag. We've got 47 laps to go.
When Dixon won his only Indy 500 in 2008, he led a whopping 115 laps. He's having that sort of day today.
Chevrolet pace car, the Corvette Stingray, gives us a pretty nice view back to the field, back to a familiar position. The PNC Bank Honda of Scott Dixon, who, but as he continues to rack up the numbers, he has just surpassed on the all-time list. Very cool. At the age of 40, he turned 40 recently, but there is no stopping Scott Dixon.
Easy in range, too, to even take over the lead in that. Today, he's been riding and staying safe, so he's waiting for the end.
Well, Graham Rahal is will not be red flagged, and it will finish under yellow with Takuma Sato winning his second Indianapolis 500 for Rahal Letterman in 3 years.
Townsend, it's the wild thing no more. He was super cool Sato today. We got
11 laps today. This will be his third second-place finish in the Indianapolis 500. All three of them can taste the win, and you can't go race for it. I cannot stand it when it finishes under caution, but that's the rule. So Scott Dixon looks like he will finish second in the Indianapolis 500 after leading 111 laps for the third time under caution.
Dixon, the dominant car today, but Sato was there with him all day. He was never worse than top 5 and was there all the time, but just waited for the right moment and got ahead of Dixon and never looked back.
I'll go back to that restart where Sato decided to go after it early, and I don't think that it was a foam for one lap for Sato, but I think the decision Dixon could have gotten back played, the lessons he learned by watching Pagano do the same.
When Dixon was pursuing and had a chance to challenge, but ultimately when it came down into the final 10 laps, Sato had a faster car and started to pull away.
Cheering for him in Japan. The reason why 6 years ago Taku started a thing with you Japan, the Kids Kart Challenge, and he just wanted, he was in Formula One.
To the checkered flag, buddy.
And this is a really special moment. Really special moment, and the way that he had to fight.
Yeah, let's bring this thing.
But what a drive, what a win for this.
More racing still going on. This is the Children's Miracle Network moment of the race, and it's the moment where 43